welcome back to the plant show. My name is Rose and this is episode 2. I had a lot of footage already, so I figured I would make this one right away. In today's video, I'm gonna take you around an awesome garden center. They had insane plants and I may or may not have bought one for €8. But you'll see that in a minute. I just had to close the curtain because the sun was blinding me. For this question of the week, actually it's a continuation of the question of last week about the plastic baggie method. I want to say a few things about it. So if you haven't seen the first video, check out, it's in the first few minutes, you'll see what the plastic baggie method is. A few people have said that they cut off the corners to make the little baggie able to breathe. Don't do that. In my opinion, you want it to become 100% humid in there, and if you want the plant to get some fresh air, open it up and close it back down when you need to. First of all, because that's the point of the plastic bag, to create a high humidity, and if you keep holes in it, then it's not gonna happen as much. And second of all, you want to reuse those bags, so it's better to keep them whole. That's my second point actually. I am really focused on being sustainable and using as little plastic as possible. So buying these plastic bags was a little bit of a tricky thing for me. I really didn't want to, but then I told myself I'm gonna use them a lot. I'm gonna reuse and reuse them for all my plant babies to grow. And I'm hoping that that makes up for it somehow. Although I normally don't buy plastic or try to buy as little plastic as possible. So I wanted to say that. But then the actual question was, can you do this with propagations as well as full plants? Because in my video, I only showed you my pink princesses, which are full plants. And yes, that's what I love it for the most. I have all my propagations, almost all of them, in plastic bags right now. And I just wanted to show you. In here, there is a Hoya curtsii. It isn't doing great, to be honest. All the leaves have fallen off. So maybe it might not look like your plant is doing okay, and maybe it isn't. But for me, when I started pulling the little stems of the cuttings that I put in here, I did notice that they are stuck. So they are growing roots into the soil. And the leaves dying doesn't necessarily mean that the plant is dying. If it's creating roots, then hopefully it can also start creating new leaves and new little sprouts of plant. So that's what I'm hoping for. I think the time of year may also help. It's winter right now. I think in spring it might start growing a little bit more. There are also some ant plants in here. And this might actually be a dischidia, and the curtsii is in another bag. What is this? Let me see. What does it say? Ah, it's a dischidia numularia. I'll put that in the so you can read. Here's another one. This is a Hoya camphorifolia, and the leaves have slowly also started to rot and die. But when I thought I might have to remove it from the pot, I noticed that there are roots on the stems. So I don't want to bother it too much. I want to leave it in a warm and humid environment with the plastic baggie, so that in the spring it can put out those new points of growth. Here's another one. This is dischidia, I think. Yeah, dischidia milnei. And same thing, you can actually see the roots on this one starting to grow. So these are pretty happy. I keep switching them around. Some of them are in front of my heater and some are underneath my grow light in the back, so that they get mostly a lot of warmth, but also some light. And then once they start to grow the leaves and the stems, then I'll give it more light and less of the heat. It'll also be spring by then, so it won't be as cold. Because in my southern window, it gets up down to about like 13 degrees Celsius, which I think is 45 degrees Fahrenheit. It's pretty cold. That's why they're in front of the heater right now. One last one. This might be the curtsii. Yes, this is the curtsii. I learned actually from a herb, what do you call them? From a botanist, that the two eyes in the back, they're not officially pronounced curtsii, but just curtsii. Although that sounds like I'm visiting the queen, but okay. So this one The leaves are still attached and they're still quite puffy. And I also noticed that it's stuck in the ground. So I'm really hopeful that the plastic baggie method is how propagation becomes much more effective in my house. As we are looking at all the propagations, why not show you all of them? One sec, I'm just gonna grab a few more. This one, and the big hoya. My cat is confused about what I'm doing. Here is a cutting of Monstera stanleyana that I do have in water. One of the only ones that I have in water. As you can see from the leaf, it's getting a little bit dehydrated and I haven't seen roots grow just yet. I noticed there was a little bit of fuzz happening on one of the nodes, but that's all I've seen so far. I'm hoping it will root. I got this from a lovely friend, Ronya, and she has an amazing collection. She knows a lot about hoya too, so I talk to her a lot with all my beginner hoya questions. Sorry about that, Ronya. And as you can see, this new leaf that's coming out actually has a lot of white. It's beautiful, I love it. Very happy, I hope it will grow. Then we have dischidia ovata, which was a pretty big cutting. And it is doing pretty well as well. I can see roots popping out everywhere. They're even just growing up into the sky, the roots. They might be a bit confused, but that's okay. You don't have to be normal to be happy in my house. So yeah, so far these leaves are still all attached and I think it's gonna do well. I'm just hopeful. The last one is this hoya. It's an unnamed species so far, although I saw some of you sharing my post and naming it, which is interesting to learn, but like it isn't identified officially. I have this because it's so big, I have it in a glass jar, and then I put plastic over the top so that it is kind of like a plastic bag, but not. And this one leaf rotted off, but I did see some root growth. Actually, yesterday I noticed that one root was growing outside of the pot and I got really excited. And then I tried to help it stay in the pot. Don't do that. It broke off. It's like dead now. But I hope, and I feel like it does have quite a few roots in the pot as well, because if you pull the stem, it is attached to the soil, which is a good sign. This is under a grow light all the time, and I'm hoping it will put out a nice new growth for me in the spring. So I love this hoya. I know, I love hoya now. It's a thing. I don't know. I'm not obsessed with them. I prefer aroids because they grow much more. Maybe hoya is an aroid too. I prefer philodendron and alocasia and stuff because they grow better for me and quicker. But I'm learning and I'm trying out the hoya business. So anyway, that was the question of the week. Let's go have a look at Global Garden. It's an awesome garden center in Zwanshoek. And the two people who run the houseplant section, Jolanda and Edwin, they are, first of all, they are lovely, but they're also so enthusiastic about plants, which you don't always see in garden centers. These people are on the hunt for cool plants and they came to bring the cool plants to me to show me what they had. They were just super lovely and super excited about plants, which works very well together with other plant people. Again, there was music playing, so I'm doing a voiceover for it. But let's go have a look at all of these amazing plants. Back at Global Garden here in Zwanshoek, and today I'm not alone. I'm gonna be meeting a lot of planty friends. Really excited to see them again and to maybe buy some plants. Of course, I knew that this place has amazing variegated monstera. These guys were 200 euros. They came in that week, so they're pretty new. And this plant had so much white in it, but like in a balanced way. There were about 4 stems in each pot. I was really shocked to see that. If anyone wanted to buy this and then cut part of it up, you would definitely still be able to get your money back. Some half moon leaves, sort of, and some were mottled or speckled leaves. And then this new mix plant. Ooh. And what I actually came for, the dragon scale. More on that later. I also saw this syngonium. It's called Frosted Heart. I'd never seen it before. It looks really pretty. But yeah, this is what I came for. Then, of course, I had to go check the other dragon scale plants just to make sure I picked the best one. So this is the one that I found on a stand, which I think is the best one because it has a new leaf and huge, two big leaves. But here's a few more. These are all 7 or 8 euros, by the way. This one has smaller leaves, less mature, and a new one coming. This one definitely has a few more leaves that are starting to be bigger. Here's a new one just unfolded, but with a bit of trouble, I think. And then this last one has not the perfect leaf. So, but it does have a mini plant, so you kind of get 2. But I'm definitely gonna go for this one. It's the best. I'm in love. Quick head test of this dragon scale. Look. This is how big it is. It is literally as big as my head. I'm so excited. Now that that's done, let's look at the rest of the shop. There's lots more plants. These were some new begonia that they just got in. Really cool looking leaves with like spikes on them. And they're pretty big plants, so I couldn't bring one home, but I'd like to in the future. Hello.
Hoi, je maakt leuke filmpjes.
Oh, dank je. So sweet. The buyer for this garden center came by to tell me he liked my videos. Once my friends arrived who went around the shop to look at all the cool plants, this was a Vittarifolium we found that actually looks to be variegated. We're not sure, we thought maybe it's just a nutrient deficiency, but there were 2 leaves with a white stripe in them, and if you can tell from this, like, I'm trying to close up and film, there's a white stripe on that stem as well. So my friend Marloes bought it. Can't wait to see if more variegated leaves come out. The others didn't look to have it, but they were adorable. I love this small little leaf. And they were 38 euros. Hey, editing Roos, just popping in to say, I just spoke to Mick Mitty on Instagram, and he said that it is definitely a variegated Vittarifolium, and that it happens quite easily to those plants, especially if they've been grown from seed in the nurseries. He says that happens a lot. So that is so cool to know. And I'm so excited for Marloes to have a variegated Vittarifolium. And I found this Tradescantia that looks a lot brighter and has bigger, more succulent leaves than the normal variety. And they were 7 euros. And then this peperomia that I just love. I don't know, I need one. Especially the orange one. I would love, this one is a little bit lighter. I would love an orange one. These are 8. But then a friend said I could have their plant or a cutting. There are some more black varieties as well that I'd never seen. And more of the orange, yellowy types. So pretty. The ruffly leaves just get me. I need that in my life. Here's a peperomia hope. The smaller plants, these were 5 euros. The coin-shaped leaves are so cute. And then a saxifraga that I heard about through an amazing podcast, in case you don't know it. It's by Jane, and it's called On the Ledge. Then some peperomia angulata. I always love these. These are 4 euros. And these other peperomia that I really like. I might become a peperomia lover. 5 euros for this plant. And a lot of different cool looking Fittonia kinds for 5 euros. They had many more, just wait. Over here is another peperomia that I really like. It has like white little dots on the leaves, and it doesn't have an official name yet, in Holland at least. It was 8 euros for a pretty full pot. Here's the Calathea Brilmarx amigre for 6 euros for a small plant. And then more of the Fittonia that I was talking about. And these adorable little Sansevieria whalefin mini plants. They were 3 euros each. Some more, they look like samurai sword kind of things. I shouldn't be picking them up like this. Sorry about that, Global Garden. And this adorable little euphorbia. How cute is that? Is that a Madagascar jewel? I think so. Little carrii, 1 leaf pot. Some mini Calathea with the beautiful pink. These are all €2.50. Some succulents. And then over here, more strings of stuff. String of turtles is over here. I don't know. I can't really take care of these. 2 euros for this little pot. Mine is not doing great. And then string of hearts and string of pearls as well. Here's some Silvery Anne Scindapsus for 4 euros. we were having a discussion about all the different types of Scindaptus pictus. We don't know. We can't recognize them. This might be a different one, but I don't know. And there was a big Hoya, probably Carnosa Crimson Princess for 20 euros. And more of the begonia on the other side. Different types. All the funky leaves together. These looked especially creepy, these one on the corner. Then some syngoniums. I like these ones with the pink layer. They were 7 euros with the pink line in the middle, I mean. And the Caladium lindenii, I think. These have been pretty hot, but they are more available now. And this another syngonium frosted heart. These were 14 euros. All the syngoniums. And over here, some, oh, you can't even see, some dischidia ovata. Sorry about the fast movement. Then over to the alocasia section, Alocasia sabrina. There were some pink dragons, different sizes, and some black velvet alocasia. These were still pretty small, about, what was it, 14 euros for a pot? Oh, 13. And they had 2 or more points of growth in them, so that's pretty good. These smaller pink dragons were 9 euros. And there was a bigger version as well that I'm not showing you right now. Then over to the Sansevieria section, they had some huge whalefin Sansevieria, 20 euros, and lots of other types that I don't know anything about. Back through the Monstera to my friends. They're chatting along while I'm stalking them with my camera. We're having some crazy discussions about these Monstera. I just turned it around to show you more of the whiter leaves. Then this adorable little agave. I love the colors of the leaves. These were 17 euros. I think they're pretty slow growers, so that's why they're a bit more expensive. Some more succulents that looked super funky. This was 5 euros. And the marmorata something, like the white cactus, the variegated cactus. This was 50 euros. Then the Aglaonema section. I really liked this really bright one. It was 13 euros. Didn't have an idea. There were several more really cool colored ones. And then we found the Rose of Jericho, Selaginella lepidophylla. Those are the dried up plants that when you put them in water, they open up like this. I used to have one of these actually when I was small, so it's really nice to see them again. And then we found the syngonium that looked really beautiful, a different type than what I've seen before, with the back of the leaves being very pink, but the tops of the leaves being pretty dark. I think it's called a black syngonium, and they were 12 euros. Then some Monstera Peru with insanely big leaves. You can't even tell from this footage how big the leaves were. And Philodendron Lemon Lime. These were 35 euros, and they looked a little bit beaten, but I'm not a fan of them anyway, so maybe I'm biased. And then in the middle here is a huge jungle boogie philodendron. It looked really cool, very big leaves, and a new leaf about to unfold. And some subhastatum. Just lots of philodendron plonked in together. Here's some hastatum and a monstera. I really like this one. It was tiny and just called at me with that new leaf. These were 6 euros. And some, not pink princesses, but royal queens, apparently. My friend Larissa knew the species name, so that was cool. These are 10 euros for 3 plants. And I got very, very obsessed with this one leaf that is trying to be in the circus. I tried to actually to help it out, but I didn't have any spray to make it a little bit more humid. And it just wanted to stay like this. Maybe it was stretching or something. It seemed to be very comfortable, so we didn't help it out in the end. And then some more of the lemon lime shots. I'm noticing this is a little bit more chaotic than my regular videos because I was with so many friends, so sorry about that. Like these beautiful orchids, someone showed them to me, so I randomly ran over to the orchid section. They look really special. I haven't seen orchids like this before. And then we found these plants. They're actually Ceropegia, so a string of hearts kind of family, but much thicker, and they had such cool flowers. I was obsessed with the flowers. These were 13 euros for the plants. I realized I missed a whole section of the mini plants, like these begonias that were €1.80 and just looked so beautiful. I almost bought one. The crocodile ferns that I did buy one, I'm sharing it with Micha, some Pilea peperomioides, and then these philodendron. They're probably Red Congo Petite after a poll on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for responding. Oops. They looked very cute. I was hoping they were Princess of Orange, but they're not. Only a few more plants to go. These were just some photos of the subhastatum leaves. I wasn't sure if they were healthy or not, but I thought they looked very beautiful anyway. And then last but not least, these Hoya australis lisa that I found for 7 euros. I was pretty fascinated with these because they looked so pretty. The leaf structure, but also the variegation on them, the different colors. I was really thinking about buying one, but I heard through you guys that they are not the easiest plants to take care of. I think I saw in Lesha's leaves that they die very often. They like to die. So I decided to not bring it home, but I was very tempted by this one. I just got home from Global Garden. It was really fun to hang out with my planty friends. And now I got home with my dragon scale. You want to see it? I always forget to do hauls of what I buy, so today I remembered. This plant I've wanted for ages, and I was so surprised about how big it was. Let me just open this. I hope it survived because it is pretty cold outside, and it was in my car for a while. But it is pretty wet. I need to make sure it dries out a little bit. There we go. Head test, Kaylee Ellen. This thing is huge. This is the other leaf. And then there's one more leaf on the way. It's pretty pregnant. I don't see any other points of growth yet. Some of the other ones had more baby plants in there, little bulbs. This one doesn't. But that's okay. I love you anyway, Mr. Dragon. I'm so excited! Look how pretty that is. Oh, the colors. The back of the leaves is stunning. Look at that. Can you see? All the red lines. Holy shit. I think it has a bit of water stress, but I've seen that on my other allocation. It was fine. I love you. I love you, Mr. Dragon. This was 8 euros. He did say it might have been mislabeled because he had a lot of plants coming in that week. But I guess we were lucky in that case. So thank you, Global Garden. I hope you enjoyed that video. I bought this lovely plant and I'm still in love with it. I'm so happy. And I can't believe it was 8 euros. I'm stoked. For the shout out in this video, actually I wanted to say something about that because I got some comments saying I picked Summer Rain. And of course, Summer Rain is amazing. I met her a while back and she is not only lovely, but so knowledgeable, and I love her way of sharing, especially all the videos where she goes abroad. But this shout out section is more focused on sharing channels that you may not have heard of yet. They're just not like popular like Summer Rain, Kaylee Ellen, Plant Arena. It's gonna be the smaller channels, so you get a chance to discover those as well, because there are some amazing smaller channels. So I hope that makes sense. And for this week, I chose James. James is actually a lot like me. He also is a yoga teacher, but he also loves plants and he makes lovely, amazing videos. He got his hands on some rare aroids and some rare hoya, and I really enjoy his videos. He kind of seems to like the same plants as me, so that's really exciting. And I think you should check him out. His channel is called James Armstrong. If you Google James Plants, I'm sure you'll find him as well, and I'll share the link below in the comments. I hope you go check him out. Let me know what you think of his channel, and that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in episode 3 of The Plant Show. Bye! Ooh, I didn't mean to steal Harley's bye. I just have been watching her videos a lot today. So bye, without singing. Thanks, Harley. The sun keeps coming and going. Sun! Okay. Okay, hold on. Sun. It is nice and warm. You just can't see my face because everything is white. Okay, I'm gonna try and close the curtain again, but you'll see that the sun will disappear then.